Hey guys, welcome to Wayne's Country Living Live. I hope you all can hear me okay, and that you can see me okay. It looks like we have quite a few people on already, which is awesome. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. Make sure everything's going good. I want to make sure that my sound and the video quality is doing okay. Before the live stream even began, that we had some trolls already. So it's like, wow, I must be doing something right. I mean, I wasn't even live yet, and the trolls were coming on. So I can hear and see you fine. Awesome. We're going to let some. I'm going to take my time here and let some people join on. I didn't really give them a whole lot of notice. Network and having a time slot. And so what I told them is I would do a live stream tonight from 7 to 8, and then I would give it some thought. The main reason I want to give it some thought is because I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to commit to a certain time slot every week. And also, I want to make sure I'm going to have good content. As I was explaining, I said, I don't know if I'm that interesting. And they assured me that, it's just a place to come and be interactive and be a part of the community. So I am thinking about joining the Homestead Network. Let me know what you guys think on a weekly basis. It is, I think it's a good thing. And I think that, if people come together for it to truly build the community and learn things from other people, then it'll be a great thing. So, and I love it. I love being a part of it and watching all the live streams that's going on. I've always loved that. So yeah. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. I've got a few things here I wanted to talk about. How is the streaming now, guys? Is it still buffering? Is it still lagging real bad? I'm doing this from a laptop because that's all I've got. So thunderstorm at Big Bear's house. Yeah, we've been getting thunderstorms every afternoon, it seems, and it's almost like Florida weather. I remember when I lived in Florida, you'd get these real horrible storms that lasted for like 15, 20 minutes, and then it'd be over. Just enough to get the grass wet. I've been needing to cut grass for 2 weeks now, and every time I go to do it, it's pouring the rain. Fine on my end. Good. Looking good here. No buffering yet. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's see how many people we've got on right now. Looks like 22 viewers. That's not too bad for what little notice that I gave. I wanted to ask you guys a question. People have been asking me about if I sold T-shirts or like hats or merchandise, and I don't. I never really saw the need for it, but people have been asking me about it. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, I will find a way to make that happen. It's something that I never thought anybody would want to wear a Wayne's Country Living T-shirt, but I'm not going to say no if you guys are interested in it. You need to let me know because I need to judge on how many people are interested. Is it going to be worth the time to sell them? So yeah, you guys let me know about that, T-shirts and hats and stuff like that. I was offered a time slot and then I ran into a hardware problem. Now that I have everything fixed, I can't get a response. Yeah, that's oh, I will talk to Brad. Okay. Big Bear's on it. Wayne, kin to Propane Man, old Bobby. That boy ain't right. Squatch wants a hat. Oh, Squatch. Squash wants a hat. Well, there's one. I want to hear more about the minnow catcher. If you're talking about the apple juice jug that I used for my minnow trap, it worked. You know, it didn't work as well as a minnow trap you'd buy at the store or one that you might make out of a 2-liter bottle. But it worked. It turned. I mean, it caught them and did pretty good. And considering that that's the only jug that I had around the house, I didn't have a 2-liter bottle. I didn't have a jug. I didn't have anything other than that. And so, for what it was, it did pretty good. Um, that first on video, I only caught one, but after I left it soak overnight, we had probably about, I don't know, seven to 10, which is a pretty good haul, especially in a apple juice container. So I think it did pretty good. So let's see what else we've got. Talked about the t-shirts and hats. If you guys are interested, what do you guys want to see um, on these live streams? My videos, I don't really take a lot of suggestions for the videos because I kind of just go from day to day, and it's whatever I think that I want to record that day. This is Wayne's Country Living, so as I'm going out messing with the chickens or even the rabbits or the dogs or whatever, or up in the woods, I'm going to take the camera along with me and record what I think needs to be recorded. But on these live streams, it's interactive. So what do you guys want to see or want me to talk about on these live streams? I need to be able to have some content if I'm going to do this on a regular basis. So you guys need to let me know what you want me to talk about. And after this live stream's over, leave it down in the comments. What would you guys like to hear about? Ask me questions. As you guys know, most of you should know, I am a propane salesman. I have over 10 years of experience in the propane industry. So if there's anything I'm an expert on, it's that. But everything else, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. So just let me know what you guys want to see on these live streams. I got a little mad this week. We got our electric bill, and we got our electric bill, and we have been conserving electricity as much as possible. Like not right now because I need the light, but when I'm not on the live stream, we keep our lights off for the most part. We keep the only light that stays on constantly is the light above the stove, and that's mainly for a night light kind of thing. So at night when you get up to use the restroom or something like that, you're not falling all over everything. But we've switched over to the energy-saving light bulbs. We only run our air conditioning during the day when it's horrible hot. It's the more we conserve, the higher our bill gets. So I was going through the charges on that bill, and it was distribution charge and generation fee and such and such tariff fee and then another tariff fee. And then what really made me mad was there was a charge on there that said customer charge. Customer charge. That's it. They were charging me simply for being a customer. Before I even bought a single watt of electricity, I have to pay them just to be their customer. And I thought, you know what, this is, I'm done with this. I am done with this. I'm going to do something no matter what I do to try to conserve energy, the bill keeps going up. The kilowatt hour usage may go down, but then the fees stack on top of it. You can never get out from under them. I mean, it's crazy. And by the way, my electric company is AEP Ohio. I'm wondering. I'm not going to mince words with them. It's AEP Ohio. Call the electric company and find out why. I did. I called it, and basically they just said that it's part of their service, and everybody's charged that. And I mean, it's not an excuse. You're charging me simply to be a customer. I mean, that's crazy. You don't go up to a hot dog vendor and say, "Hey, can I get a hot dog?" Well, you've got to pay me $8 first, and then that'll give you the privilege of buying a hot dog off of me. It's crazy. So we have AEP too. They are a horde. Yes, they are. So what I'm looking into is I'm going to eventually, because they're insanely expensive, but I want to get solar panels, and I want to hook my solar panels into the grid. I have talked to AEP. I called them yesterday, and they said that yes, you can do that, and you can backfeed the meter, and they will credit your account at a hugely discounted rate. I mean, they're not going to pay you what you're paying them for your usage, but they will. But they will let me backfeed the meter, and they will credit the account, which is something. I have talked to I've talked to on YouTube people that have went to solar, and they said it's a really good idea if you can afford the proper amount of solar panels and the proper amount of setup, then it's good to go. You need a grid tie inverter. You're going to need the solar panels. You need the wiring to go with it. And then, of course, Bobby and Propane never did answer whether his father's name is Hank. No, my dad's name's not Hank. I have to pay $32 a month just to have electricity available. Yeah, and that's another thing they told me. They said, I can pump power into the grid, but I still have to pay at least $12 just simply for being a customer, just for staying their customer. And I don't want to go completely off grid because, we depend on electricity, and I just don't think I can afford the batteries and all that stuff right now. The main reason I want to backfeed into the grid is because I want them to have to at least give me something for my power, at least for a little while. And I might go off grid eventually, but I at least want them to have to give me something for my power that I'm producing, because I'm getting so sick and tired of all these utility companies. Propane is not regulated by the Public Utilities Commission. And what I mean by that is we don't fall under the same guidelines as your electric or natural gas or stuff like that. So basically what that means is we have the opportunity of not having to charge all these huge fees in order to stay up with the Utilities Commission. And then there's co-ops. I mean, there are co-ops that you can get that kind of drop it down a little bit. But I know people that's on co-ops, and if you do get good service, which is very unlikely, then when the electric goes out, you're out of electricity for days or maybe even weeks because they don't have the manpower to fix them. So yeah, if anybody has any solar ideas, let me know, because I am going to do this one way or the other. This is just getting ridiculous. The amount of money I'm paying a month in electric bills is insane. And it may cost a lot of money to go to solar, but I believe within at least 6 months to a year, it will pay for itself over and over again. Wayne, before you invest, do a cost analysis. Yeah, what I'm waiting on is I sent an email to a solar company, and I gave them all of my stats. I gave them my kilowatt per hour usage um, throughout for the past 12 months. I gave them the guidelines that AEP had, and they are going to work me up an estimate, and then I'm going to go from there. I really want to set up solar and some rain catchment, but I haven't had the opportunity because I keep having more children. Well, yeah, it's funny. Well, that's a catch-22, I guess, Palmetto, because you know, my kids are great. It will take longer than that to have it pay for itself, but the benefit is you own the power. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It might take longer than that. I was just estimating because I really don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I own the power, and not only that, not only do I own the power that I'm consuming, but if I get it big enough, then I'm actually selling power back to AEP, and they have to give me something for it. Of course, that $12 for just being a customer or whatever will come off my credit, but at least, you know, if something happens, I'll build up enough credit on my account to where if my if my solar panels go out for some whatever reason, I'll have enough credit on there until I can figure something else out. One panel at a time. Yes, that's probably what I'm going to have to do. And every little bit that I get, you know, every little bit that I add to it is just another investment and another way of where I'm not going to have to pay them that much money a month. And they don't care. I mean, I mentioned that on there. I said, you know, these electric bills are getting insane, and I have to do something. I said, it seems like the more I conserve, the higher my bill is. And they said, yeah, like, okay, it is what it is. Pay it or do without. I mean, it's crazy. You know, you see it um, all over the TV, feedthepig.org and all that. So conserve your energy. And that's all fine and good. But, you know, they want you to conserve energy, but they still want the money. So you may not be using as much power, but they'll find a way to get their money. I mean, you can't just say, I'm going to pay for electric only and I don't want to pay for all the other fees, because they'll just come and they'll pull your meter. They don't care. Let's see. We got another troll in here. Good Lord. Must mean I'm doing something right. Geothermal. I don't know much about geothermal. Uh, I know very, very little. When I was living in Detroit, I told them to turn off the gas, didn't need it, was not going to pay the monthly fee for gas not used, went all the way, told the judge in the court, and told the judge to his face. Yeah, as long as you're hooked up, they will charge you just for having the meter. Um, we have in our um, at our company, we have what's called a minimum usage fee. It is not a rental, it is not a monthly fee, and it is not a customer charge. We pay anywhere between $800 and $1,000 for a 330-gallon tank. We get our investment back from that tank by people that's buying gas. If a person that has a 500-gallon tank does not use 500 gallons or more within a year, from April 1st to March 31st, then there's a $30 fee for one time a year. And it is clearly stated in the service agreement what that is. And the service technicians are required to explain that in detail to the customer so that they know what that is. He has to pay liability insurance, taxes, And there's another fee that he has to pay on all these tanks. These tanks come with a title, just like a car. So they have a title. There's taxes to be paid. There is insurance to be paid, and he makes that back through selling of gas. He doesn't sell enough gas, he has to charge that fee. Now, that is our only fee that we have. And if you use enough gas, you don't even have to pay it. We don't have a fuel surcharge. We don't have what other companies call a hazmat fee. I still can't figure that one. I've been in the business for over 10 years and I can't figure out what a hazmat fee is. We don't charge monthly fees or monthly rent or anything like that. We charge the price per gallon and sales tax. So, you know, it's all just a money racket. I love having propane. Absolutely worth it. I agree. And I guess, I'm a little bit biased because I'm a propane salesman, but you can't beat gas heat. Wood heat, gas heat is your two best heats out there. Propane, it's clean burning. I have a ventless wall heater that I heat my entire house with, a 30,000 BTU ventless wall heater. And yes, ventless wall heaters are safe. As long as you stay under a certain BTU range, they are safe. It burns 99.9% efficient, which means 99.9% of all the gas that is burnt turns to heat. The 0.01 turns to water vapor. Electric heat is generated heat, and it is basically fake heat. And as soon as the electric furnace shuts off, it gets cold instantly. Hazmat fee is in case something happens that should affect people or the environment. They send in hazmat teams to clean it up. Well, with propane's non-toxic to the environment. Propane is insoluble in water, so it poses no environmental risk at all. As far as the people, your insurance would take care of that. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just another way of it's just another way of getting money out of people. Here in Canada, electric heat will put you in the poorhouse post haste. Yeah, well, they will too here in the States, I'll tell you. I pay a rated fee on my electric, so in the summertime I usually have a credit, so I get months off from paying electric bills. Yeah, we did that here, or we tried that. It was with what they call the budget program, and you pay a certain amount a month. Problem is, if your usage is higher in the wintertime, which mine isn't, mine's usually higher in the summer because I use propane heat. Um, if you if it's higher and you're paying, let's just say, $150 a month, but your bill is $200 a month or $300 a month for that time, then you're building a huge balance. So, some people having electric heat, that is more cost effective than to have propane. That's not something you would normally hear from a propane salesman. But you have to judge what's best for your area. In this area, Southern Ohio, Northern Kentucky, and Northern West Virginia, electric bills are insane. They used to not be that way, but the politicians have made a war on coal. The coal mines are shutting down. The coal plants are going down. We've lost one major job producer in a steel plant right across the river in Kentucky, and we lost another one, Dow Chemical, that at least 200 or more jobs just gone in this area because the coal industry is being hammered. So every coal mine you shut down, that just jacks up the electric, just jacks it up. So in this area, electricity will put you in the poorhouse. Our electric bill in the winter usually is usually about 75 bucks. Yeah, BC, I wonder why. Do you even heat your home in the winter? Trying to see if there's any questions. Our bill usually runs no higher than $140 a month year round. We lost all of our coal mines, and not too long back we paid in taxes to have a power plant built. Well, admit shut them down. Oh, shut them down as well. So no one here has a job that's worth it. Yeah, I mean jobs here are hard to come by, horribly hard to come by. Okay, I'm gonna change the subject because that just puts me in a bad mood. So Big Bear Homestead turned me on to something called walnut tincture, and I still don't know everything about it. But what I do know is I have 3 black walnut trees out in my front yard that I used to consider annoying because when the walnuts fell, I was hitting them with the lawnmower. Um, it used to be so aggravating, but now I've been turned on to being able to make something out of them, and so now I'm kind of excited. I went out there yesterday, and I think we're going to have quite a bit of walnuts. So that's going to be another future project of mine, and I'm going to maybe even haul some out and um, eat them, eat the walnuts. I've never been a huge fan of walnuts, but hate to see anything go to waste. But I like to take the hulls and dye my traps with them, which is going to be another video. I probably won't do as good as Big Bear, but I'm going to give it my best shot. At the most, we bought 10 to 15 gallons of kerosene a week. Good Lord. I don't know what it is where you're at, Palmetto, but in up here, kerosene is insane. I think it's close to $4 or $5 a gallon. Um, Kerosene is. I haven't bought it for years and years and years, but um, I know it's expensive. Kerosene is. I'm also going to make on the lines of walnut tincture. I'm also going to try to make my own vanilla extract. Um, of course, vanilla beans don't grow in Ohio, so I'm going to have to get me some vanilla beans and do it that way. Just under $4. Yeah, man, that's insane. I mean, I know it's kerosene and all, but Lord have mercy. You know, I can pay. Of course, I get a discount, but let's just say you are buying propane off of us right now. It's $1.09 a gallon. So, and the smell of kerosene, those kerosene heaters, they're great. They put off great heat, but Lord have mercy, it stinks your house up, and it's dangerous because I don't care. Every year in this area, especially, you hear on the news 1 or 2 or 3 people that knocked their kerosene heater over and burnt their house down. Soak walnut husks in water, pour it on the ground, and the worms will jump out into your bait can. I've never heard of that. I have heard of using dishwashing liquid. Um, that's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do is build me a worm bin and breed my own night crawlers, and that way I won't have to go and buy them anymore. I can just go out, grab me a couple dozen night crawlers, and then take them out on the bank with. Propane tanks make great grills. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I know a guy that bought a 124-gallon propane tank, and I mean they're not huge, but he made it and he turned it into a grill, a smoker grill. But what was great about it was it looked just like a pig. He painted it to look just like a pig, and we call them in the industry, we call them pig tanks, those 124 tanks. And it was funny because um, it looked just like a pig. It was great. I work for a power company. I'm sorry. One of our coal units burnt down, 240 million in damages. Wonder if our rates will go up. I would say that's a certainty. We are building a natural gas plant right now. It's the future. Yeah, natural gas, it's okay. It is what it is. You still have to pipe it in. You still have to pay. You still have to pay your meter rates and all that stuff. I don't know. Here you do. You have to pay a monthly meter fee and all that stuff. Love our wood heat, but it still means going out and getting and storing firewood, which I am cool with. I do a lot of cooking on the wood stove in the winter and hang my clothes to dry in front of it. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love wood heat. I mean, wood heat is great, but propane has made me a little bit lazy. So, I mean, I go and I flick a switch. I have good heat. So when I get my building built eventually, I am going to have a wood burning stove in there. So you guys have any questions for me? This is what I was afraid of, running out of things to talk about. Um, I talked about dyeing my traps. Um, what I really, the only thing I trap is squirrel, and I have the 110 conibear traps. And the reason I do that is it's hard for me to get in the woods and hunt during the winter. And so when I put the traps up in the woods, they're always hunting. You know, they're always hunting. And hey, Buck Run, Uncle Buck, is propane more cost efficient than kerosene? It is here. Um, yeah, kerosene here is around $4 or $5 a gallon, and propane right now is $1.09 a gallon. But as I was saying with my traps, um, it's hard for me to get out and go hunting as much as I want to. So I put the traps up for the squirrel, and the squirrel is basically your insurance meat. It's the meat you put in the freezer to make sure you have meat in the freezer. And I'll have my rabbit meat. And is it legal to trap squirrel in the woods like that? Yeah, yeah. And this is on private land, so it's legal to do whatever I want to do. I mean, they'll just have to get over it. But yeah, as far as I know, you have to have a trapper and fur bearer's license if you're going to trap squirrel and coon and stuff like that. So squirrel traps are so easy to make. It's too bad I don't eat it anymore. But you need to start eating it again. Squirrel's great. I know that there's some squirrel out there that might carry the plague or whatever. I don't know about all that. Um, but here, the squirrel are perfectly fine. Squirrel fried and gravy, homemade biscuits. Oh, yeah. And I'm chomping at the bit to get me some squirrel. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe squirrel season in Ohio is in now, or it will be in next month. I don't know. I don't know for a fact. And the main reason I don't know is because when it's warm like this, I don't trap them. I wait for the first frost. That way it kills off all the warbles. And you can cut them out. The old timers used to say just cut them out. Um, but I wait for the frost. I wait for a good heavy frost, and then that's when I start setting my traps. Any easy way to skin squirrel? Yeah, there actually is a pretty easy way. Um, you can basically kind of almost like a rabbit. You hang them up by their hind legs, kind of cut down the line, cut down from one leg to another, and just kind of grab it and you peel it down. Unless you're going to save the hide, if you're going to save the hide, then you want to do it a little bit differently. I just grab it, yank it down, cut the head off, gut it, put it in the freezer. Squirrel is my favorite wild game meat, second to dove. I have a confession to make. I have not had a dove. I really want to get one. I really want to try one. But my favorite wild game meat is hands down deer. Deer is my absolute favorite wild game. Always has been, probably always will be. I'm a big red meat fan. Steak is my favorite food, and I love deer. We have propane too for many other purposes. I do all my canning on propane, though I do mean to try canning on my rocket stove sometime. Yeah, I know people that they have a separate cook stove outside that they hook up to a propane bottle, and they do that just so that they don't have to heat their house up. When propane went up to $5 a gallon 2 years ago, the price of wood went way up. Homesteading with Dutch, I don't know where you live, but the highest I have ever seen propane with my company, the absolute highest, was $1.99. No, it was a dollar. It was $2.99 a gallon. I can't even remember. That's how long ago. That is the highest I've ever seen. It was $2.99 a gallon, and it probably could have went even higher. Um, the propane market rate went outrageous there for a little while, and then all of a sudden it drops. So right now we're in a good time as far as the propane market goes. Deer loin steaks are awesome. Yes, they are. Absolutely awesome. Deer is 80% of our red meat intake. Simply Circus, if I had my way, deer would be 100% of my red meat intake because I love it that much. Deer, anything is awesome. That's true. So I am done with my list. I made it 40 minutes, so that's good. Um, so what do you guys think? I don't know if I seen. I don't think I've seen any of the comments, but of course it's hard to keep up. What do you guys think about me joining the Homestead Network? Is that something you guys want to see? Arnie Hancock, squirrel. I eat them hair and all. It's good fiber. you're you're a braver man than me because I don't think I can get past that hair. Indiana propane was over $4 a gallon 3 or 4 years ago. I remember that. I remember. Um, oh yeah, so everybody wants to see me on the Homestead Network. That's cool. I remember when propane was that high. Propane did get pretty high, but so did electricity, so did gasoline prices, so did natural gas. It seems like in that area, in that time span, everything was up. Your gas prices were high, so your grocery prices were high, your energy bills were high. Everything that you depended on to live was high. So it's I'll tell you, I don't know, man. I hate to get pessimistic. I always try to stay positive. I really do like to stay as positive as possible. But sometimes, man, they make it really hard because, I'm raising a family. I'm not just out gallivanting around when I leave this house. I go to work and I work hard and I work 40 hours or more a week, and I'm raising a family. And I'm okay to do that. That's my job. My job is to take care of my family. But I don't need anybody else from the outside trying to make it harder on me to take care of my family. And that's what really aggravates me about it. So if I can get as self-sufficient as possible, if I can get on solar energy or wind turbines, if I can get as much off the grid as possible, that's what I'm going to do. How much is propane right now? BC, I don't know how much it is down where you're at, but here with my company, it's $1.09. $1.09 a gallon plus your sales tax. That's another reason I've been doing a lot of fishing lately, is because the fish, yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a blast. But it's also a good way of getting some extra meat without dipping into my grocery budget. You know, I paid for night crawlers, which are like $2 and something, and of course whatever tackle you use. But I don't go through a whole lot of tackle, so you know I'm putting quite a bit of food on the table, really good food, healthy food, as a matter of fact, even though I'm deep frying it, and I'm doing it without dipping into my grocery budget. You know, so when I go fishing, it's not just to have fun; it's also for food. And that's the same way with my rabbits. Uncle Buck says, "Have you gotten your rabbits yet?" No, I'm going to be getting them next week. I'll have my doe rabbit next week, and she will already be bred when I get her. And then a couple weeks after that, I'll get I'll get my other rabbits. So. Do you have a propane stove and water heater? I have a ventless stove for my heat. I do not have a propane cook stove, although I want to get one. The main reason is my wife does most of the cooking, and she does not like gas stoves. She likes electric stoves, which is fine. If that's what she feels more comfortable with, then that's what we're going to use. As far as the water heater goes, that's a different story. Where the water heater is at, I live in a mobile home. So it's in the back of my closet in an enclosed space, very little room, and I'm not comfortable where the water heater is at. I'm not comfortable having gas in there, just in case, in the very off chance I get a leak, it's going to fill that chamber up. And I am not comfortable with that right now. I am working on relocating my water heater and actually looking into getting a tankless water heater that is an on-demand kind of thing. So that's what so I am going to switch more things over to propane, and I am thinking about getting me a propane gas dryer, clothes dryer too. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day processing rabbits. I have around 20 to do. You know, you can bring them down to me. I'll take all the ones you don't want to process. Yeah, I will not have a propane water heater either. I live in a trailer as well. Now you can relocate them in certain places, and then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an on-demand water heater eventually. Where, you know, right now as it sits, I've got a 40-gallon water heater. That's as the water cools down, it kicks back on. And if you get an on-demand or a tankless water heater, your gas only is used when you are calling for the hot water. So it heats it up instantly right there. The nice thing about propane is that it works when the power goes out. Absolutely. And that's why I have a ventless wall heater. One of the reasons I have a ventless wall heater is because it works when the electricity is out. If we get a bad storm, no electric, we still have heat. That never goes away. As long as I have gas in the tank, which I always do, I don't have I don't run out of heat. I want a demand water heater, not too bad in the cost either. You know, they used to be pretty pricey, but here lately they've been coming down actually. Amazon sells them, yeah. There's also a company called Renai. They make excellent products, Renai, and they're a little bit more expensive, but they're made in America and they are warranted to the guild. I mean, they're really good products. We have a Renai tankless water heater and love it. Yeah, we used to sell. Right now, I have an Empire wall heater. We used to sell the Renai wall heaters. Well, Renai stopped making the wall heaters in America for some reason, and the owner of our company likes to have American-made products as much as possible. It's not always possible, but as much as possible, he likes to buy from American-made manufacturers. So that's why we switched over to Empire. Now I'm sure that some of the parts that are made into that wall heater was not made in America, but they advertise it as American made. And 97% of the propane that we use comes from America. It comes from right here in the tri-state, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Al, Wayne, if you heat with propane furnace, don't you need electric for ignition and thermostat? Yes, if you heat with a forced air furnace, yes, you do. But there's ways around that. If you heat with like a ventless wall heater, then no, you don't need electric at all. And some people say that's dangerous because it's ventless. Some people say it's only meant for backup heat. But to be completely honest with you, it's not. It's not dangerous. They are designed for that. They have safety devices. They have an OPD or an ODS, which is an oxygen depletion sensor. It detects the pressure, the atmospheric pressure. So if the oxygen level were to drop in your house, that heater is going to shut down. And one thing I recommend, whether you're using natural gas, propane, wood heat, whatever, if you're burning something, always, always, always have a carbon monoxide detector in your home. I cannot stress that enough. Several years ago, we lived in an apartment complex, and we had propane heat, and the propane heater down below us in another apartment malfunctioned. And what happened was it was burning very bad. It was the heater malfunctioned and it was burning over the bricks, and it was pumping carbon monoxide into their apartment and coming up into ours. Well, me being a propane salesman, I had two carbon monoxide detectors in the house, and they were both going off. Of course, when they first go off, I take them outside, I'll wave them around, and we were sleeping at the time. It was early morning. And I put it back up, we laid back down, and it went off again. So then we called the fire department. They came up, did their test, and found that not only was our apartment pumped full of carbon monoxide, but the apartment down below was even worse. And if it had not been for my carbon monoxide, two families probably would have died. Mine, me and my family, and the family down below us. So I always, always, always stress, one of the first things you need to buy when you get your propane setup is a carbon monoxide detector. Propane, wood heat, natural gas, anytime you're burning anything, always get a carbon monoxide detector. Make sure it's UL rated. Make sure you get a good one. Don't skimp on the price. Make sure you spend the money and get a good one, because it could potentially save your life. And smoke detectors as well. Anybody that doesn't have smoke detectors in their house, you need to get them, man. That's crazy. Get you some smoke detectors. Where do you get one? Get one at Lowe's, Walmart. We got ours at Walmart. You can get them on Amazon, eBay. Just make sure it's a good one. Which one is the best? You'll want one that it'll say UL rated, and And typically the ones that are more expensive are the best. You can actually get your smoke detector and your carbon monoxide detector in the same unit. Those are good. Wayne, do you ever have trouble with the regulator freezing? Arnie, what is that for your main house, or is it on like a 100-pound cylinder or a 20-pound grill tank? Yes, regulators can freeze up. What happens is moisture gets into the gas. It's inevitable. It happens. So as the vapor gas is pulling through your system, it's depositing little drops of moisture. And then when it gets inside the diaphragm of your regulator, then it can possibly freeze off. And then what you'll have is it'll freeze and no more gas will come into the house. What we do is in every 9,000-gallon truckload of gas we put into our 30,000-gallon bulk tanks, we add a gallon of methanol. And that methanol attaches to the moisture and it helps to prevent freeze-offs. You can also pour hot water over top of your regulator. Make sure that the regulator vent, there's a regulator vent on all regulators. Make sure it is pointed down so that rain is not getting up in the vent. When I switched over to propane, I bought 5 of those puppies, safety first. Yeah. Really, though, depending on how big your house is, you really only need 1 or 2. Al Perger, I hope I'm saying that right. Perger. Do you have a food dehydrator, Wayne? No, I don't. But I do have a video. Look for how I make beef jerky. And I make beef jerky with a box fan. I've seen it on TV and it works great. You can do it without heat. Well, it is 7:53, almost time for Big Bear Homestead for his live stream. I can't wait. I always enjoy his live stream. Is there any questions that you guys have before I go? I tried to dehydrate some wild blackberries. Unless you like seeds a lot, don't do that. Yeah. There was a guy that used to work for us that would make homemade blackberry cobbler, and you found yourself with a lot of seed spitting and seed crunching. Taco diet. Yeah, I do love tacos. Every time you guys mention tacos, I start getting hungry. Is there a winter blend and a summer blend like for propane like gasoline? No, there's not. Where propane is under pressure, no. We use the same propane all year round. Propane doesn't go bad as long as it's contained in that tank. It is going to stay good. So. I went to the farmer's co-op. They told me to put 4 gallon in my 500-gallon tank. I did, and it works. 4 gallon of methanol. Yeah, my propane company has a sale. If you call for it for propane, get it. Then usually this month or July, best time to buy it. Yeah, same with us. It's we call it our summer fill program. We try to drop the price down as low as possible, so that our customers can get it at the cheaper rate. Yes, so it was 4 gallons of methanol. Now, to me, 4 gallons of methanol is a little excessive. Really, in a 500-gallon tank, you may only need 1 or 2 quarts. And how do you get it in your propane tank? We have a methanol injector that goes into the service valve into the vapor port. You own your own tank. That's cool. How do you get it into the tank, though? Do you have a methanol injector? I tell you what, I wish I knew more about mushrooms because I'd like to go mushroom hunting, but around here you pick the wrong one and it could be bad. I only put 2 gallons in the tank. It was empty. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's yeah, that works great. Buck Run 11. My tank is buried. Does your propane company test those every year? Because they're supposed to. If they're not, you need to make sure they're testing that. Because if they're not testing the antidote bags, you could be getting corrosion on your tanks. BC truck. I know a little bit about mushrooms. Don't take them and drive your motorcycle. Okay, I'm going to get things set up. Proud of you, Wayne. You did great. Thanks, Big Bear. Yeah, we've got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to start winding things down. Yeah, this has been fun. I've enjoyed this. It does have the bag. Well, that's good, Uncle Buck, but that has to be tested every year because the antidote bags are self-sacrificing. So eventually they're going to run out, and you'll have to have a new one installed, which is really easy to do. But they need to test it with a millivolt meter. Okay, guys. So we've got 2 minutes left, and I really enjoyed this stream. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that it wasn't too boring. I hope that I was halfway interesting. So if I do make this a regular thing, I will announce it on my channel, and I'm sure that Brad and Jason and them will announce it on theirs. And then, of course, it'll be on the homesteadnetwork.com. Don't forget to go to Big Bear Homestead after this. Check out his live stream. Check out all the changes that are coming. Thank you, Wayne. Again, sorry I was late. It's okay. I didn't give much notice. So, all right, it's 7:59. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me on my live stream, and I will talk to you next time.